My name is Julia Jackman. I just graduated from ASU Barrett with degrees in biochemistry and global health. I will be moving to Norway next year to study education as a social determinant of health and to complete a 2-year master's program in global health at the Norwegian University of Science and Technology. And I've been participating in Dr. Hartwell's course for the past 3 years. Oh gosh, it took me so long to actually decide what I wanted to do, because at the beginning of the course, we sort of start by doing like a wide scoping review of the different topics out there. And I knew that I loved music and that was like just a huge part of my life. And so I knew that I wanted to do something in that realm, but it took me probably like 5 or 6 classes to actually home in on like one specific question, and that was through a really collaborative process with the other students involved. We would be listening to different types of music as they were answering the questions, and we evaluated how accurately someone would be able to perform under different or while listening to different genres of music. And we found that the category of lo-fi beats was most helpful to people having a higher percentage of answers correct. I was surprised, honestly, by the category, the genre of music that was most productive for people. It's not something I typically listened to while I was studying. I listened to a lot of music with lyrics, and that, as I found out in this experiment, is not as productive for me to like get things correct on the test, and for other people involved. Makes sense in hindsight, but it's interesting to find out scientifically and like have actual numbers backing up your predictions. And I was merely facilitating the process, but this was something where I got to just let my brain run wild and decide like what I was interested in, and it took a lot longer than I thought to come up with a focused research question and to actually execute the entire process. So I'd say that while I like really loved the science that I learned, it was more so giving me the confidence that I needed to really move forward with my own projects in the future. I learned a lot about the process of creating a question, which is the hardest part of the entire process. Like, I mean, of course, like you have to build the experiment and get subjects and analyze the data. But really, for me, what the hardest part was coming up with a project that was feasible and a question that was interesting to me, but also hadn't been answered in other literature reviews in the past or other projects. So yeah, I'd say probably learned a lot about creating a project that was relevant to others and to myself, where I literally started at ground zero of like having nothing other than a solid background of, maybe auditory processing or visual processing, which I learned in the class, and then being able to come up with something that I was super interested in, make a question, propose a hypothesis, and see through the entire project to the very end was a really rewarding experience. I never ended, with all of the projects that I did over the 3 years, I never ended with the same research project I started the class with. And that was because every class, it was sort of an iterative process of like talking to people about what I was interested in and getting their feedback and sort of seeing what their ideas were. And it always turned out that I had a better project when I talked to other people and got their feedback before continuing.